Hey everybody, you made it back. I'm glad you guys came back. We're here at Board Check for episode number 2, and let's just get right into some stuff. We've had some good news happen this week with the NHL Lockout. Thank you, uh, GTDM Hockey, for suggesting we get a little more in depth with our coverage of the lockout. And I'm trying to talk to everybody I can talk to. Hopefully, I know a little bit more, as time goes on. If it does, I'll do an update this week. But as of right now, the owners did have a 50-50 split that they wanted to try to get the players to do. And the players are okay with everything. 50-50 split means on the revenues and everything like that, the owners would get 50% of them. The other 50 goes to the players. This is an extremely good deal compared with where the owners usually were, where I believe it may have been closer to 70-30 with the owners retaining the 70%. Right now, they presented that to the players. The players looked over it for a day and countered with numerous different offers. I believe it was between 3 and 4 offers. The main hang up so far is it seems that the players they have no problem with the 50-50 split. They want the owners to honor the old contracts. Now, what this means is if somebody like Chris Pronger, Hendrik Lundqvist, Jonathan Quick, anybody, if they signed a deal in the last few years since the last CBA talks and agreement, then that shouldn't count against the new cap numbers that would go into place with this new agreement. To put this in perspective for everybody, this is like, let's say the job you have now, when you first get hired there, they make you sign a year-long contract and say, "Hey, in this year, we're going to pay you $10 an hour for so many hours that you work or up to $40,000 a year." Which is fine. And then all of a sudden a sanction comes down halfway through the year or towards the end of your calendar year where you signed it, saying that they're only allowed $200,000 in the budget. Now your 40 will count against that 2,000 and it may put them over the cap, which could be extra penalties. What's not really fair though is because you're trying to limit something that's already happened. It's like trying to charge somebody for a crime you committed way beyond the limitations. What needs to happen is, I mean, a lot of the hockey news. If you guys don't follow them, a lot of the writers there, they have a great magazine, new women's issue that just hit. You gotta check those out. But the hockey news has been saying we need to find the keys to this building, lock the players' association and the owners in there in a completely lawful way. We're not talking kidnapping or forcing or nothing like that, but we need to lock them in there until they come up with a deal because this is getting ridiculous. Because of the fact they can't agree now, we're looking at games that were canceled all the way into November 1st. This means we'll not get a full season in this year because it's just too dangerous to try to fit in 82 games in a short amount of time. It would be like the NBA. The reason the NBA had so many injuries this year is because you tried to force too many games into one. Now, if they don't honor these new contracts, we don't know how much longer they're gonna hold out. This could go back and forth for a long time. We really wanted to make a decision here. I know there's a lot of people online that are always talking back and forth. Maybe there's a petition. Maybe we can, start going to the home arenas and, to the point of almost picketing outside. We need a season. We're hockey fans. We had one of the most exciting playoffs last year. It's just an unreal story. The Kings battling back and everything. It was just every game you just wanted to hang on to it right now. The same kind of captivation you get with the MLB playoffs right now. The NBA was great. Hockey's the one setting out. We got to try to get a deal done. But to change focus real quick, and once again, I do think at GTDM Hockey, that's HCKY, I will put that up on the site as well. I do appreciate the input, and if you guys ever have any questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about, this show is about what you guys want to hear about. If you don't want to hear about the lockout anymore, tell me what you want to talk about. Maybe you're a Florida Everblades fan. Maybe you like the Gwinnett Gladiators. We're going to get to them here in a minute. Maybe you follow KSU, or maybe you follow your local college team. Maybe you play on a Pee Wee league. Maybe you're in adult league. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. Just let us know. I will switch focus real quick to my social media shout out. You'll see a lot more of these. I'm going to try to do them every week. Let's see. Let's check real quick. The first the first one or tonight's question is from GA Tech John. I imagine he's a Georgia Tech fan, And John, I do appreciate the question. It is, why is a team like the Gladiators, Gwinnett Gladiators we just mentioned, why is a team like the Gladiators prosperous, but an NHL team such as the Thrashers in the same area can't be? That particular instance, I can probably vouch for. The reason the Thrashers didn't catch on and take so well, I believe, came down to management. The Atlanta Spirit Group wanted to invest. It's like buying a house. They wanted to invest, not put anything into it, and turn a profit. You can't do that. You got to work for it. You got to flip some stuff over. Sometimes you got to, shine some of the doorknobs, repaint. We got to do something, some kind of marketing schemes to get somebody interested in your product. At this point, that was the Thrashers. Now with the Gladiators, they have a great owner. Everybody's supportive and everything. The Gwinnett area between the Braves and the Gladiators have just taken on to these teams. They always stack out the arenas. If you haven't seen a Gladiators game, you need to go down there. Gwinnett Arena is a great place to watch anything. They have concerts and everything else, but I know the Gladiators play a lot down there. This coming up week, they will have the Evansville Icemen. I believe they have 4 away games in a row. They'll play at Evansville Wednesday. They'll play at the Fort Wayne Comets Friday and Saturday, and then they'll be back in Evansville on Sunday again to finish up with the Icemen before coming home for a couple home games. Right now, they've started off the season with 0 wins, 2 losses, and they did play an overtime game. Lost a heartbreaker the other night. But we're just getting started, and the Gladiators are one of those teams that always surge, and they usually end up in the playoffs. They always had a really good record and always fed good people to the NHL affiliates. Also, KSU games coming up. They are a whopping 6-0 right now for 12 points in the Division III standings. I believe they're tied for fifth at the moment, but it's because other teams have played a lot more games. Their upcoming games this week, they have Georgia Tech at home Thursday. They have Life University Friday at home, and that's at the Ice Forum in Kennesaw. And they have the Clemson Tigers coming all the way from Clemson, South Carolina, to play Saturday night. All these games are at 10 p.m. If you guys just have, if you don't have anything to do, or if you want something really cool and exciting to do, come check out the KSU games or go see a Gladiators game once they come back in. We'll all appreciate it. It's great to see hockey and all these guys just battle hard and everything. It's really a good experience to get in there with everybody. And that's pretty much going to do it for me this week. As always, I appreciate you guys checking us out and everything. We're at BoardCheck, and we're at BoardCheck on Facebook and YouTube. We're at BoardCheck99 or at BoardCheck99 on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We're at BoardCheck. We'll see you next week.